Hi, I'm Carly McCaffrey.
I'm Jen Ward.
And I'm Aiden Mueller.
Can you state your grade for us, please?
I'm a junior.
Can you explain the important trip coming up for you?
I'm going to be going to Lake Placid for some training with my team. I'm on the Junior Olympic team for Luge. Lake Placid is where the 1980 Olympic Games were held, and the 1932. And that's where we still have a track functioning, and it's where our headquarters are for Luge. So we still have some stuff out there to use for training, so we can definitely utilize it.
Nice. How about we view the video of you in action?
Sure.
So how did you discover this sport and what made you want to be a part of it?
Former student at West Islip named Aiden Kelly, he ended up going to the Olympics in 2014 for singles luge. I found out about this during his time, and I ended up following his career and him going to the Olympics. And I found it really, really cool that somebody from my hometown ended up going to the Olympics. So one day in Queens, there were tryouts, and I thought, I was just going to go out and try out luge for the first time and, see how it is and, see what it's about. And I wasn't expecting to get a call back from them, but around 2 to 3 months later, in August, I get a call back from them saying that they wanted me up for a screening camp. And the screening camp was held in 2015, in March. And it was 1 week, and they basically evaluated around 30 kids from all over the country, from Detroit, Utah, Boston. Cities all over. And they picked 4 kids from that screening camp to make it. So it was a really cool experience. I actually ended up not making the first cut, but in the following summer, they gave me a call back and said they wanted me because one of the kids dropped out on the team. So it was pretty cool. So I ended up making the team, and I've been doing it for 6 years now.
That's so insane. All right, can you describe your current training schedule? Like, where do you train? How long? How many times a week?
So training right now is really hard because of the pandemic we're in. Usually, what I have been doing, I train from around the end of October to the beginning of March, because that's when we can have ice. That's when it's cold out. It's not indoors. It needs to be outdoors. So, in these regions that they have the tracks still functioning, it has to be really cold. It has to be below freezing. And of course, there's refrigeration and things, but it's mainly outside. So I end up spending a lot of my winter away from home. I spend it in Lake Placid, which is upstate New York, out in Park City, Utah. Some of my time is also in Canada. Actually last year I got the opportunity to go to Europe and train over there, where there's a couple tracks. So I spend a lot of my time away from home in the winter. And, so it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Awesome. What and who motivates you to stick with the sport?
Really, it's not who, but it's what. Since I saw Aiden, go to the Olympics, he was from my town. I guess who is him? He, showed me what anybody from this town could do. He came from just any of us, and he ended up going to the Olympics. So I guess him definitely inspired me a lot. And ever since I saw him go down and see what he did, I guess going to the Olympics has wanted me to stay with it. And eventually, hopefully, someday I'll be there. But, I still got a lot of training to do before then.
Awesome. So soon you're leaving. Describe the housing situation and training schedule you'll have when you're there.
So up in Lake Placid, there's a training facility for all athletes. So bobsled, skeleton, skiers, freestyle skiers, all these different types of sports, winter sports. And it's a really nice facility. I like it. But it's kind of like almost college setup. Everyone has a little dorm. And then there's the cafeteria, weight rooms, gym, sports medicine area. And, we get some of our basic training done there. We can lift weights, we can exercise. And if we ever crash or have any problems, we can go to the sports medicine. They can check us out. So, a lot of where we train is through there. We also have a start building. And basically what the start is it's the beginning of the run. So that's when you see me pulling off in the beginning of that video that I showed. So we have like a little ramp with handles, and we can practice a lot of our start there. And a lot of our start is actually a lot of the speed in the run, because it's basically how fast you get going. So, so we train usually. Our morning starts around 7 or 8 o'clock, sometimes even earlier. We will usually have an activity, so it could be just basketball, or it could be like a full-blown 2-3 hour circuit workout. We'll have usually sliding, which is around an hour to 2 hours, depending on how many people are with us at camp, and starts. And, there's a couple other things that we could have, but it varies day to day, really.
All right. So you're obviously leaving. So how will you complete your academic studies?
Well, this is my 6th year doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really on top of myself to get it done, because my parents told me I can do this, and they'll be behind me every step I take, and they'll give me every opportunity in the world as long as I keep my studies up, because it's really important. This is only going to be a portion of my life, and I need to be smart in order to move on to college and different things. So I've been really on top of it. When I leave school, I have a lot of tutors and people that help me along with different topics, science, math, things like that. But I've been pretty good with it. I'm a good student, I would say. So, I just keep up with it. I just got to push through it and make the best of it, because I got a really amazing opportunity. So, you just got to make the best of it, I guess.
Yes. So, as we saw in the video, luging is an intense sport. Have you ever been injured?
I've had a few injuries. Nothing major, no broken bones. I've had some pretty bad crashes. I think my worst crash, I ended up going completely sideways in the track. So, you see me going down that long run, I was actually fully sideways, and I snapped the back of my sled off. Of course, you get your bruises, you get your bumps. That's with every crash. And, it's not fun to crash, but, you learn from every time you crash. But yeah, I've never really had any major injuries. There was one time that I came back down on my back and neck, and something wasn't right there, but it was, I ended up still competing. I was in sports med for 4 or 5 days doing a lot of just exercises and stretches and anything I can do to really get myself back up to fully functioning. But I mean, there's definitely some pretty bad injuries that can happen, but I've been lucky to avoid them.
Nice, good for you. And the last one, describe how you're feeling about leaving and the training that's going to happen.
Well, usually, when the coronavirus was non-existent, I would train every month. I'd be up there every other month. Even during the summer, I'd be up there. And it's been a really long time, so I haven't been or touched a sled since March. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is a big part of my life. Like I said, I've been doing this for almost 7 years now, and it's my dream. So going up there to answer your question, it's my life, so I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I can get back out there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
we
of
just
course.
want to say good luck.
Yes,
Thank you so
luck.
much, really. I appreciate it.
Of course.